Buu's been retconned 3 times. So the way the story goes, Akira Toriyama first states in the Dragon Ball manga that Majin Buu was created by the wizard Tubebuddy. And then later on in an interview, years after he finished the manga, he states that, well, actually, Majin Buu was there since almost the beginning of time. Like, so far deep back in time, it's a point that majority and most people don't even remember. And that's where Buu was there. And it's just Tubebuddy found a way to conjure him up. And the East Kaioshin believed that Tubebuddy was the one to created him because, once again, this goes so far back in time. Like, Buu's like 5 million years old or something. And now we find out here it was Marba who actually created Majin Buu, and Tubebuddy just asked her to conjure him up. It all still works together. So Marba is cooking up something here, and we see where it's spicy, like, you know, it's just bubbling. And Arinsu is right there with Marba, and they start talking. And basically, this is another huge thing that people are talking about, a retcon. It's Dr. Arinsu, as she mentions to Marba, like, aren't you the one that created Majin Buu? And she mentions how, right, you created Majin Buu, not Tubebuddy. And Marba, even if we zoom in on to looks like her stomach, she has the M symbol, which is synonymous with Majin Buu. And basically, she ends up mentioning that Majin Buu was a failed experiment. He was way too chaotic and just completely went off the rails. She couldn't control him. And Dr. Arinsu basically mentions how it was Tubebuddy who came around and actually asked Marba for Majin Buu to make it look like as if he was the one that created him. And so from there, they're asking basically this new Majin Buu, or they're alluding that this new Majin Buu that she's working with, the sample that she brought back, should work a lot better. And she expects that this will work good. And Marba's basically thinking it should, hopefully this time. Keyword should. And Arinsu's like, what you mean should? And she's basically explaining how Majin Buu is just completely so unpredictable. And I love how in the smoke we see Fat Buu, we see Super Buu, we see Thin Buu. I'm glad they didn't forget Thin Buu. Then we see Super Buu, and then we see Kid Buu. That was really cool. Now, why it's doing this when it's taken from a sample of just Fat Buu, who originally originated from Kid Buu and the Daya Kaioshin, aka Ultimate Supreme Kai, I'm not sure, but that was really cool. And so obviously they have a new Majin Buu in the works here, and she tells Arinsu that in order to make sure that this works and he's more controllable, you're gonna have to go ahead and spit in it. So Arinsu ends up covering her mouth, and she ends up spitting into the water, and boom, this color starts forming and it turns green. So Arinsu has basically mixed her own DNA or saliva, whatever, with this new Majin Buu that they're legitimately cooking up here. And we get some great wide shots, just amazing backgrounds that we see here in Dragon Ball DAIMA. And so this thing the green light ends up shooting out of the wherever they're cooking this thing in, and basically, they say they're really, Marba really hopes that this is going to work with the new Majin Buu. And Arinsu is absolutely amazed. She believes that this plan is going to work, and we see it going into the sky. And what's very interesting here is Arinsu mentions how she's going to use this new Majin Buu that they're cooking up to get the Dragon Balls. And at this point, Marba's like, what? You actually want to get the Dragon Balls? Because that means you got to take on the Tamagamis. And Tamagami 3 apparently was strong enough as it is, at least. Also, how truly strong is Tamagamis 2 and 1? And so Arinsu's like, oh, I've got it. I got plans already underway. And we get this zoom-in shot of Son Goku, who's just out snoring, sleeping, slobbing. He's got that Dragon Ball because she's using Glorio to try and get... He's using Glorio to try and basically get Son Goku as a way to defeat the Tamagamis. Of course, she knows Goku was the one who defeated Majin Buu. And Arinsu, and you see Dr. Arinsu, she is so sure of herself. And I gotta say, take a break here to just talk about some of this stuff here. So once again, I'm loving the presentation of Dr. Arinsu. I am all here for Dragon Ball female villains. It's really cool. I think this is one of the coolest characters Toriyama has created created in this series. And once again, some fans are getting mad about the retcon. So I guess Buu's been retconned 3 times. So the way the story goes is that Akira Toriyama first states in the Dragon Ball manga that Majin Buu was created by the wizard Tubebuddy. And then later on in an interview, years after he finished the manga, he states that, well, actually, Majin Buu was there since almost the beginning of time, or at least a time of which is very hard to remember. Like so far deep back in time, it's a point that majority and most people don't even remember, and that's where Buu was there, and it's just Tubebuddy found a way to conjure him up, and the East Kaioshin believed that Tubebuddy was the one to created him, because once again, this goes so far back in time, like Buu's like 5 million years old or something. So yeah, and now we find out here, no, actually it was Marba who actually created Majin Buu, and Tubebuddy just asked her to go ahead and conjure him up and everything. It all still works together. Obviously, Buu goes way beyond the East Kaioshin, aka the Supreme Kai, aka Nahare's time. So for all he didn't know any of this, going back to Marba creating Buu and Tubebuddy being the one to try and take credit for it all. So it was very interesting, and I love this lore. This is the type of lore that I wanted. It feels like it's definitely progressing the story a lot more faster, a lot more better, honestly. And now that we are definitely getting some things are picking up in the plot now. Like, man, this is getting really good. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, I don't mind Marba being the one who defeated Buu, being the one that created Buu, and Tubebuddy being the one that took care of things from there afterwards. It's fine with me.